Welcome. We are Table Goth, a group of tabletop gaming enthusiasts and gothic aficionados. We are here for our first episode of Season 2 of Taste of Youth. Tonight, things will get super uncomfortable for some people, so if that makes you uncomfortable as well, feel free to take care of yourself, mute it, walk away, do whatever. Otherwise, we're going to go around the table, do our introductions in case you forgot who we were, and then jump right into this stuff, starting with you.
Hi, I'm Miss Petty Dreadful. I'm playing Evelyn Gibson, and I'm a Toreador.
I'm Metal Chocobos. I'm playing Elijah Buchanan, and I'm a Bruja.
I'm Mandy Morose, and I play Jordan Quick, and I'm a Malkavian.
Bexley Bro, I'm playing Herb Mollis and the Caitiff.
And I'm Bully. I am the storyteller, and yep.
That sums it up.
Together, we're Table Goth, and this is Taste of Youth. We are back. Quick recap of what happened last time. Herb did some research, found some information about the group that calls themselves The Answer, the vampires that they believe to be the ones who turned them and attacked the school. Things started to look suspicious with Jim, and the coterie awaited for his return so they could get answers of their own. Jim did come back, and he asked the group to urgently meet him at the school, claiming he found the relic he had been searching for. They met him, and in their old principal's office, there was a sword, which Jim said had some sort of abilities, was very important. He also found a stake in the desk and some papers about a group called the Society of St. Leopold. So they took the computer's hard drive, but a large group of hunters arrived before they could escape. Evelyn and Jordan heard a conversation between them, revealing that Evelyn's parents and Herb's father was among the hunters. Jim tried buying them time and was shot with an incendiary bullet. So the coterie fled out the window, leaving Jim to fend for himself against the hunters. They were intercepted outside by 4 other hunters who they discovered were their old classmates, the Young Nuns. But the coterie made it through after beating them but allowing them to live. Arriving at Evelyn's house, where they were greeted by a kindred who revealed herself to be Elijah's mom. I gotta take these mugs away. But first, outside of the house, Jordan decided to take a walk and try to get out of there, seeing an unknown car, being a bit paranoid about what was going on. Wandering through, or starting to wander down the road, very late at night, with no smartphone, no way to contact someone, you would hear a noise behind you. You would turn and discover just darkness there, until you hear it again, slow at first, until you recognize it as the sound of glass slowly cracking as if about to burst under the pressure of something. As the cracking gets louder and louder, filling your ears in this otherwise silent evening, it eventually shatters, and the noise disappears. And then a new noise rings out. Gunshots. As you see from the woods, muzzle flashes as guns are fired, and you see these shadowy figures start moving in, firing at you, and you could feel the bullets piercing your skin, knocking you back and forth as the trees begin melting away and these shadowy figures start taking form. And you see you are back inside the school, that large circular sort of entrance room. At St. Benedict's Gateway Academy. You see these figures are agents in masks, dressed in all black, except the masks are red, completely covering their face, with black crosses down their face across the eyes. As the bullets continue to burn, and you can now smell singed meat. Some of these rounds seem to be on fire, incendiary. You have a man in your grasp in front of you, and you lift him and you tear his throat with your teeth. You position the body between you and as many of the bullets as you can while draining the blood from him, wounds closing on yourself as you do so. You hear a woman to your side scream out. So you begin to drop the man. You yell out, mouthful of blood. Say, enough. If you gotta shoot someone, how about you shoot each other? Strangely enough, several of these agents comply, turning their weapons on one another as another round of gunfire echoes in the large room. The woman near you places a burst of bullets in her skull. There's a blinding pain, but you can see clearly through this third eye open on your forehead. You drop the man and you lunge at her, tackling her, slamming her to the ground, and landing on top of her. Well, instead of struggling, she wraps her legs around you and holds you in place. You lean in, jaws wide, to sink your fangs into her. You know there's just a few more down and you'll be free. You have too much to take care of. You wish it didn't have come to this, but you had to let the beast loose for the first time in a long time. Somehow you're still aware of your surroundings amidst the carnage, like a master watching his attack dog kill its prey. Before your mouth reaches her throat, she punches at you. Her fist jams into your open mouth. You bite down and you pull, cleaving her hand off. As the bones snap, sinew tears, and her remaining hand rips her mask off, and she's smiling like a jackal. Her one good hand waves goodbye to you. You see a grenade pin around one of her fingers. And then you see light. The light of the sun, as it's in your eyes, blinding at first, slowly rising above a horizon, filling a wide canyon, glittering off a river that runs through it. You're in a desert landscape. It's limitless in its possibilities. As the sun's warmth washes over you, you take off your hat, and you simply smile, and you feel the heat warm your body. And then, Jordan, you open your eyes again, except you're on your back at the end of the driveway of Evelyn's house. Your forehead is burning, searing pain, but everything's quiet.
I slowly get back on my feet, shaking and probably pretty disoriented after the traumas of the night and then what I just saw. And I stumble slowly to the house, turn around.
Okay. Inside, three of you are standing around, recovering from the evening. You're facing your mother. She is in all business attire, all black, looking professional, but definitely tell there's an uneasiness, a concern in her abnormally large, completely black eyes.
What the fuck, Mom? Why are you here? What's happening?
I suppose I have a lot of explaining to do. I'll start.
Yeah,
First of all, I'm just glad that you're all okay. Although you look like you've been in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so are you safe now?
We don't know. We just got into a fight at the school. We don't know what to do actually right now.
I understand what you are.
And you're one of us? For how long?
A few years now. I came down as soon as I could. You understand now, seeing me, why I couldn't see you before.
Yeah.
When I heard about some of the developments down here, heard about what happened with the school, I feared the worst, and it seems the worst was, well, worse than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for not being there and for what you've been pulled into. I'm sorry to all of you, actually. I'm afraid you're all paying for something that we did. Your parents. Evelyn, Herb. All of us played a part in hunting them, kindred vampires. What I am, what you are. Part of a team, a very large team. We exposed and eliminated them wherever they could be found. Most of this happened before any of you were even born. We were good, thorough. Eventually, we decided to settle down, take a less active stance in hunting them. A lot of us wound up here. St. Louis is a unique opportunity for our group. There's a lot of powerful Catholic influence. The church is also very interested in hunting vampires. And here, there's certain government agencies and the society come together, and we still operate out of here, but mostly we're here to protect each other. That's what the school is supposed to be. A way for those of us who used to hunt them to have a safe place to raise our families, keep our children safe, as we worried about retaliation. Like I said, most we dealt with, we eliminated entirely, but apparently we missed a few. And those few seem to have managed to track us back here. And just attacking us would be suicide. So it seems they went after our kids. At no fault of your own. Been drug into this, and frankly, I'm not sure exactly what to do next. But you said you're in trouble. You said there's something happening at the school.
Yeah, I didn't hear much of what was going on. We were attacked, though, with a friend of ours, another kindred, who was teaching us how to adapt. And we saw a chance to run, and we took it, and we have a relic of some sort.
We don't have it.
I'm just saying,
Oh, yeah.
collectively.
Stay here, stay safe. What's happened to all of you, I can help. I've been this way for a little while. I've made the best of it. I know how difficult the transition is. And it's even more difficult alone. What's most important when I'm down here is to help you find who did this. The ones who went after you, they did it for a reason. They wanted our attention, they've got it. I intend on doing something about it.
Wait, you said the reason is because of our parents. I mean, like, have you met my dad? My dad, what do you mean? My dad wouldn't be a part of anything like this. He's like a nerdy ass lawyer. What are you talking about, man? Doesn't make any sense at all.
My mom's a vampire. Nothing makes sense at all.
I mean, have you met my dad though?
Have you met my mom?
Your dad was not a field agent. He is a
Makes
lawyer.
more sense.
He is nerdy, as you would say. But vampires are clever. They operate in the shadows. Your father was very good at using his contacts in law enforcement to recognize patterns. He can see when things were unlikely what they seemed. Vampires are good at covering their tracks. They infiltrate law enforcement. They corrupt. That's part of the reason why I turned. They corrupted even our own organization. I had to become one of them to defeat them. But your father is very good at rooting them out.
You became one to defeat them?
Yes. It says,
So you chose this.
in a way, but not really. I didn't really have a choice. It was this or let them continue to do whatever they wanted. Let them continue to prey on us. We lost too many good people. We do a very good thing. And we needed to be allowed to continue to do it. I made a sacrifice in order to root out those who infiltrated our organization. Mortals will always fall victim to their ways. I knew to really beat them at their own game, I had to become one.
Dad's not. Right?
Kindred, no.
Is he a hunter?
He was. He was. We could discuss more about that.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. This is all kind of it's a long night, and this is trying to be a much longer night.
A lot of the parents at the school were involved. Theodore, L.B., Autumn's father, he was one of our team leaders. He's easily the most ruthless fanatic of us. He liked to make examples of the rest of them. We were trained to think of them as monsters, and I never was religious, but some of the members from the society side especially truly believed they were slaying demons, saving the souls of innocents. The way some of them reacted to what we did to them, it was clear there's still something human in there.
Yeah.
That's where some of us started to stray. And it seems they wanted to give us a taste of our own medicine, our cruelty. We discovered Autumn was tortured. Evidence of this was frequently sent to her family. We were actually pretty surprised when her head washed up near the river. We assumed they had some grand message they'd want to send with her death. It's at this moment I noticed Jordan, as you came probably about halfway through this conversation, standing in the doorway. You hear Jordan speak as you turn, notice her for the first time, almost as if in a trance. And you see clearly a memory of yours, that box left in the back of the theater department, finally wrapped the message to Jessica from Lancelot. The number's 351. As you remember from your English studies, you were able to put it together. Those were characters from The Merchant of Venice. Act 3, Scene 5, Verse 1. You hear Jordan say aloud, "Yes, truly, for look you, the sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. Therefore I promise ye I fear you. I was always plain with you, and so now I speak my agitation of the matter. Therefore be of good cheer, for truly I think you are damned. There is but one hope in it that you could do any good, and that is but a kind of bastard hope neither." And then Jordan sort of snaps out of this.
Are you okay?
Was I talking out? Yeah, fine.
What's wrong? I thought you were leaving.
Jim's dead.
Shit.
And I go and sit, like, there's a staircase that, like, leads into the foyer, yeah. So I go just, like, fall to the steps. Still holding my head.
I mean, seems like a good chance, but we can't know that for sure, Jordan.
I saw it happen.
I mean, we all saw leaving him behind, but he told us to go. I mean, we didn't.
No, I saw it in my head, like a vision or something. I saw it happen.
Oh.
Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Assuming you heard most of that then?
Yeah, some of it.
Sorry to hear about your mother, stepmother, foster mother, sorry. You should know she was not involved in this in any way. Neither were your birth parents. We believe they were victims of a vampire. It seemed like a random feeding. We were able to track them down. We hunted them. We killed them. We didn't know what to do with you, so we made sure you were taken care of in the way we could. Gina was a blessing, and she decided to adopt you. Some of us considered doing it ourselves. We made sure you got into St. Benedict's, a good school. We tried to do what we could to ensure you had every opportunity, despite how much was taken from you. I'm not sure why you were returned. But we'll get answers. We'll find them.
Are my parents, they're not really religious, but are they fanatical? Like, are they going to
No.
come in here?
Well, there's some of the best field agents. Like I said, most of us had retired. They didn't.
Yeah.
They, like I said, most of us settled down to raise our families. I mean, no offense, but your parents seem to choose the hunting lifestyle more so than settled down with you and your brother.
I'll take it.
My vision, did I recognize
Her
the
mother.
woman?
Mm-hmm. Her father was the one that you were holding who took some of the bullets for you, who you drained.
Evelyn. I saw your parents in the vision too. I'm really sorry. I don't know if it helps at all, but they weren't scared. They were brave in their convictions, and they did what they thought was right. I'm sorry.
Sometimes visions aren't always exact. I should go check on this situation.
Watch out for the nuns.
Do you need me to go with you? I mean,
No. I'll be fine. Nuns?
the young nuns.
Yeah.
They're the ones that.
I gestured to like I got staked.
Not familiar.
They're the
Arabella.
kids of the principal and a few other parents.
Seems like they're.
Mr. Brown's daughter. Yes, she has been trained from quite a young age. Some of the others have. Obviously, you lot were not. We didn't want you involved in this.
Yeah. We got in a scuffle with them on the way out. They tried to stop us. I think they clearly recognized us. We recognized them.
Yeah, they knew our names.
I should take care of that then, more urgently than I thought. For now, lie low. Be safe. Look out for each other. I've brought someone to help you sort things out. She helps me a lot. I'm gonna find out what happened at the school. She sort of steps towards you as if to hug you or something, and just reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder, and she goes.
What the fuck?
I know, man. This night feels like a bad trip. None of it makes any fucking sense.
I have to go talk to my brother.
Yeah. Do you need anything?
Yeah. I'll go upstairs. Unless.
As you begin to exit, you hear throat clear. And you can see a woman very dramatically dressed in the door frame, or in the threshold out of the foyer. She's wearing a long red dress. She is tall, curvy, with a dark amber skin. Her hair is long down her back, and half of it is dramatically covering half of her face, falling in waves down both. She has very long fangs, and the one eye you can see has a bright red pupil. She has a black rabbit tucked under one arm, and a long cigarette in the other. She sighs, looks at each of you.
Hi.
Let me apologize on behalf of your mother. She's got no sense of drama, no appreciation of flair. I get to make a first impression once, and she made a goddamn mess of it. But oh well, I'm here to clean that up, and you lot. Name's Wendy Fairchild. Here to take care of you kittens for a while. So I suppose congratulations are in order for yourselves. You, hold this. She gives you the rabbit. She walks around the room a little bit, looking at each of you, taking a long drag of the cigarette. Under Camarilla rule, a bunch of young troublemakers like yourselves would have been
Season 2 sets.
would have been chained up and sent in the sun like a bad dog in a worse neighborhood. But sometimes the prince is generous. He assigns what's called a shadow to a young coterie, someone to advise them, guide them, especially when their sires went up to the task or never came back after grabbing a pack of smokes or apparently died in a hail of bullets. Either way, Wendy's here now.
Very fresh.
I made your mother what she is today, which you might think is tragic at first, but if you weren't such a dolt, you realize it was a
Okay.
goddamn marvel.
Alright.
An angry dame with a gun and no sense of who she should be pointing it at. Now she's one of the Chicago Sheriff's top enforcers. Probably doesn't mean anything to you, but it should.
Eager to learn, I guess.
What I'm trying to tell you is I'm good, but I'm not a miracle worker. Right now, you lot are barely worth sucking at the rats of this city's sewers. But I could fix that. It's going to take some work to make anything out of you, but start with some spit, start polishing, and see what shines, shall we? So, introductions. You got mine, I'd like to hear yours. Starting with you.
Evelyn Gibson. Good shout.
She takes and kisses her hand. A choice bit of calico you are. Toreador?
Yeah.
On the money as always. And you?
Elijah Buchanan,
Waiting for the clan, son.
Bruja.
Bruja. Alright, we can work with that.
Oh, okay. Didn't
And you?
stings.
Seem like I'm Arcavian Mask if I ever saw one. Your name?
Jordan. Quick.
Jordan Quick, rolls off the tongue. Pleased to meet you. That makes you?
Confused. What's that? I'm Herb.
Herb.
Yeah. Is this what's going on?
I don't know. It's this night.
This
It's the longest night of my life.
First, my dad. Now that. What the fuck?
Well, we'll speak to your dad about naming you Herb, but first,
His name
what clan were you given?
The one clan thing that don't have a clan. Kadif, something like that.
Have you met a Cardiff? Have to say, it's about what I expected.
Nothing is what is expected tonight.
Either way, I can work with that. I can help you out, show you the ropes. First things first is figuring out the city. I'm not from here, but I've done plenty of work here. And it's a lot easier to navigate than from where I'm from, so it should be a cinch to carve something up for you lot, if you're interested in that. I'll tell you one thing, lying low isn't going to fly. You've put yourselves on the radar from what I understand. Now you need to prove you're an asset to this Anarch town if you want them to let you stick around. Luckily you've got me, and if you're smart, you'll listen to what I say and avoid some initial embarrassment. Skip the pleasantries, dump the introductions, and make a splash that gets their skirts wet. Now, this city is lousy with kindred. St. Louis has been a bit lax with enforcing and bracing rules, and the recent shift to the Anarch has been plenty of kindred, sick of the Camarilla, found their way here. As well as some troublemakers just looking for opportunities to let their beasts play. Either way, there's lots of people looking for a bite, so you're going to have to fight for a slice of the city. Now tell me, what are you lot on about? What have you been up to? Who's the high pillow here?
The high what?
Who's in charge out of this coterie?
We're kind of just a
Whoever
team.
talks the loudest.
Yeah.
And I'm following Western democracy.
I see.
Look how it worked out. I guess honestly,
We've had
Jim was our leader, but he's no longer with us.
I mean, he was more of a guider than a leader. But usually things just happen to us. We don't really get to choose.
We don't act, we just react, I guess.
Yeah. Mostly.
We're going to change that. You're going to start carving your own path, start doing your own thing, whatever you want that thing to be. I'm here to help you with it. I can see some potential. We've got an interesting selection here. Got a Toreador, who I'll be honest, don't usually like at all. I can make an exception for you. It's like you've got a full arsenal to work with. You'll do just fine with your fellow blue buds in the city. And you, if you got half your mother in you, that means you're at least halfway useful. Monica tells me you're a musician of some sort.
Yep.
You've also had some trouble in your very short past.
Yes.
There's a sap that can scrap. We've used for that, though.
Nailed it on the head.
And you seem...
Right that
Trouble? Is that rude? Probably. But hunting words attract too many flies. And sometimes having an edge can help. Especially with this lot. As a caitiff, you're going to have to work twice as hard for half the respect, so I don't envy you. But then again, I was a woman of color in the 20s, so I've settled my scores. People be wary of you. I'll try to figure you out. Keep them guessing. It's more fun that way. And honestly, it feels like you'll be a natural at that.
Sure.
No.
So, tell me, what are your plans?
Our friend, I guess friend, I don't know. she was taken. Another kindred like us.
Kindred kidnapping. You're gonna be the ones to catch the capers. That I can help with.
Yeah.
There's a lot actually to unpack here.
We don't have time to unpack all of that.
We
There's
also got this.
cops after us, or detectives.
I understand you've gotten in some trouble. You've
Yeah.
asked some dangerous people for some help. But we're gonna start taking care of problems ourselves. Make others seek you for help, or at least appear like you have something to offer, instead of moping around shaking your tin. So telling people about problems, you're gonna be able to tell them you solved the problem for them, and now they owe you. So, we got a lot to unpack. I personally don't feel like unpacking anything right now. So I'll leave you to it. And everyone be still for a second. And she says this. You see this huge Doberman very quietly walk into the room and stop at her side, baring its teeth silently, starting to slowly let out this low growl. This is Charles. This handsome fellow is not at all friendly, so please do watch yourself. He does accept bribes, though. So go ahead and give him that buddy. Show him you're good people, make him feel like an honored guest in your audacious home. As you reach it out, he snatches the thing from you and just tears into it very quickly, starts eating it. There's a lad. She pats him a couple times. Only I can do that. Touch when he's eating. God damn, it won't be good. So, for now, don't mention my presence to anyone. Someone take kindly to me being here. Plus, it makes you look better pulling off some big moves on your own. Like you really know your onions. Appearance is everything, after all. Now, if you need me, I'm going to be in the petting pantry. Don't be a stranger.
What's a petting pantry?
Educate this man.
The theater room.
She starts walking out.
Why is it called a petting pantry?
What the fuck just happened?
Just now or just all tonight?
We bet
Everything.
a lovely woman from the 20s and our parents are vampire hunters on the same team.
And
Like
My
the
God.
1820s? Or
1920s.
she
I
said
think.
1920s.
Confused.
I think she said 1920s.
I mean, none of this makes any
16.
sense at all.
Oh, that's even harder.
No, it doesn't, man.
I mean, all of our parents just happen to be in some like weird conspiracy cult that I didn't pick up on. Seems fucking unlikely and weird. The fuck.
As Herb's kind of like going through his moment, I just sneak up the stairs.
Sure. The rest of you do.
I mean, like, oh shit.
As Herb is having this moment, I'm going to sneak to the petting pantry. You got this? Oh, wait, they're both having moments. Fuck.
I've just been having a moment like
The entire
for like 48 hours. Just like
long.
walking
Jordan or
around,
Mandy?
like, all of us. It's like it's dying. So, like, nothing ever like was weird with your dad other than him just being like
He was
dad weird.
like normal and boring. He'd go golfing. Like that's like he golfs. And
That is the most
I
boring.
mean, I've tried to like show
be
him some
shocked.
things. He always thought they were boring and stupid, even though they were like mind blowing and like showing like the reality of the universe. But it doesn't make any sense.
You
Like he
know-
doesn't seem like that's just not there for him. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. to
That
me.
was obviously his cover. He couldn't act like he was interested in that.
I guess. Fuck. This is just. This is too much.
Do you think your mom knew?
I mean, I don't know. I thought she only knew how to bake really good oatmeal raisin cookies. But
you
now
gotta start seeing your parents as like human beings. It's probably the first place to start.
that sounds really hard to do. If you knew them, like you'd understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jordan, about your family and about Jim. It's just holy shit.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm reeling more from their actual deaths or these fucking visions that I'm having now. I felt it. Like, when it was happening, I was Jim. And
That's fucked up.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
I mean, and are we just supposed to like trust these two vampires? I mean, I know one of them's Elijah's mom, but I mean, this is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know. I just don't know anymore, man.
Should I have been the one to tell Evelyn?
It's probably better coming from you than finding out later, you know?
I guess.
I just hope her brother handles it well. That kid's been through a lot too, and he's not even one of us.
Yeah. How close is it till sunrise?
Very close.
Very close.
Within an hour.
All right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and stay here tonight. I'm gonna go lie down, I think.
Yeah, I should probably do the same. I go pull out my phone, text Delilah, find a place to crash.
Okay.
Keep an eye on that fucking devil dog.
And like I'll go into the bedroom and
Hey.
close the door and lock it if I can.
Deal up in lights.
I'm gonna grab a towel and I just sob myself to sleep, just bleeding onto the towel. My blood
It's a nice
tears.
white towel.
It's red now. It's all red.
It's embroidered.
Yeah.
It was like really expensive.
Clearly
Where are you
cashmere.
heading?
To the petting pantry. The
What?
theater, yes.
Sure.
Like some heavy petting.
Yeah, you in there.
Probably why it's called
Old
that.
detective movies playing.
That's what I think.
See trail of smoke from Wendy's cigarette.
Can you smoke as a vampire?
Wendy,
That's wild.
Speaking.
Elijah, I don't mean to interrupt your movie, just, you know, I don't
Out with it.
know if she ever talked to you about me.
Your mother. She told me a bit. Remember, I knew you were a musician. That shows I listen.
I guess that checks out. I don't know
Maybe if you could carry that guitar with
what
you.
she thinks about our relationship. I don't hate her.
Got a funny way of showing it.
It's just we've always been distant. But I feel like I should be out there with her. I just saw her for the first time in I can't tell you how long, and I learned she's a vampire, and she's out, and the sun's about to come out, and I feel like I should be out there with her helping, not just watching a
out.
fucking movie.
Listen, you. Can you handle yourself?
More so than the others.
So, that's not really answering my question.
I know.
Can you handle yourself?
I think so. I've had to make some.
Give me a strength brawl.
Fuck. Ooh, I don't know how hungry I am.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
He's not even rolling.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Alright, I got the potence though. Ugh. 2.
You want a will on that one?
As you say that, you are blindsided by Charles. This dog just comes careening out of nowhere, latching onto your shoulder and arm, and just dragging you to the ground, and just starts whipping you back and forth.
I'll tap the floor.
That's enough. And he, let's go. You were just.
That wasn't funny.
She sits back down. She gets some rest. That wasn't bad. Would have bit you in half if you're anyone else.
All right. One more thing before I go to bed. The other person who was mentoring us.
Jim.
Yes. Jordan said she saw him die tonight.
Your mom will save him if she can.
Okay. Thanks. See you, Charles. Good night.
Elijah, one more thing.
I'll look in my bag.
Earlier, when I said it would have tore anyone else in half, I lied. It handled you pretty well. Not as strong as I think, bud. But we'll get there. Have a good night.
Looking forward to it. And I'll tear down the film. Now who's strong?
Oh, Evelyn just. Evelyn, you mistake in the back. I swear to fucking God.
With the prop stay.
But I still get it in there.
As you knock on the door to your brother's room,
How did it get sad?
we will take our first break.
Oh, good.
Come back, let you get real sad.
Thank you.
See you in a bit. Bye.
Yeah.
And we are back at Evelyn's house. A little bit of moonlight left. You go up to your brother's room. You assume is asleep.
Definitely. I'll just open the door. I won't knock. I'll just go in. And kind of.
Sure, yeah, you open. He's snoring, passed out in the bed.
I walk over and kind of like shake him a little bit. Eddie?
Oh, what's up? You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
I got a gun now.
In the room?
Yeah. Yeah, I could have shot you.
You could have. It would have just added to the night I've had.
Checks under his pillow. I don't remember where I hid it, but it's stashed within reach. What's up?
That's so disconcerting. It's been a really rough night. We went to the school with Jim, either trying to like see whether or not we could trust him or what was going on.
Oh, for sure.
I got staked for a second. And a bunch of vampire hunters showed up, and Mom and Dad were there.
It's crazy.
Eddie,
Yeah,
Mom and Dad are vampire hunters.
for sure.
I feel
What do you
like you're
mean?
really not awake.
Oh, you met Mom and Dad?
No, I heard them. They were there. We got out before we got
Wait.
shut up. It was like military grade vampire hunters.
Our Mom and Dad?
Like David and Greta.
David and Greta.
Um,
Shit.
and so we ran. We didn't know what
Did they hunt
to
you?
do. They didn't know I was there. I didn't say anything. Maybe I should have said something.
Just connecting a lot of dots.
Like too many dots.
Right.
And Jordan had a vision after we left, and she doesn't think they made it out.
Wait, what? First of all, what do you mean a vision?
I don't know. She's weird vampire shit. She like saw Jim die.
Does she do that?
Apparently.
Is this like a That's So Raven vision where it like for sure is happening, or is this just like a
She
feeling
saw the
got?
future, but she did see it happen, as far as I understand. Elijah's mom was here, and she said sometimes they're wrong, and maybe they got out. Maybe they got out.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way that you left him. What is this? There's Jim? They just had to fight Jim?
There's one guy. I
All that
thought-
sand? No, our parents are fine, I'm sure.
I hope, but her name's Monica, right? Monica, Elijah's mom said they've been hunting since before we were born, and she thinks that.
Found my gun.
Put it away, please. She thinks that the attack on the school, me getting turned, it was all like payback to send them a message for something they did, and that's why Kindred and I just.
You okay?
No. Are you?
Wraps you in a hug. Let's Where does this happen? The school?
The school.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust Jordan's vision or whatever. I mean, they gotta be okay. You're sure it was them? They didn't even say they're in town.
No, they didn't. They just. But it was.
I'm
It
sure
was
it's
Mom.
fine. I'm sure it's fine.
Right. It's gonna be okay, right?
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of stuff's going on.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's confused, or you're confused, or something. Right?
I hope. 'Cause I just wish they could have been here. That's not fair, right?
Yeah.
God. Wish they would have told us they were here.
If it was, I mean, this. I don't know. It had to have been someone else. There's no way. Like vampire hunters. That
Yeah, they
means
just traveled the world and
all the time.
were super vague about their profession and never really told their kids exactly where they were going to be.
They know they should have done really well and started teaching me recently. You are a vampire now.
Yeah.
God damn it, our parents are vampire hunters.
Vampire hunters. Kind of hug him a little tighter.
What do we do if they are dead? Say, for whatever reason, her vision is real. What then?
I don't know. I want to figure out if I'm their punishment. I want to figure out why they did it. What happened, and I don't know. Whoever they made mad, I want to know.
Yeah. We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm so sorry.
I don't know. It's not your fault. I'm gonna go. There's people here. I'm gonna go figure out what the fuck's going on. I'll check in while you're asleep. I'll see what happens. I'll keep an eye out. I'll try. I'll call them, I guess. I don't fucking know. You'll be asleep soon.
Yeah.
I'll be here when you wake up.
Good.
Hugs you again. He sort of sits at the edge of his bed, sort of stares off. Eventually you find your room, go to sleep for the evening, or the day. The next day, I guess we'll just do our rouse checks as you all wake up.
Hungry.
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 Okay.
Blush. Not hungry.
All awake in your rooms at Evelyn's house. You gather downstairs where Wendy, Monica, Edward are all gathered at the dining room table already. You see your brother's just pale, looking down, face puffy and swollen. As if he's been crying.
Good evening. What's going on? What'd you find out?
Monica straightens up. You'll be safe. You'll be fine. They knew about Herb. Apparently it bugged your place. Your phone that your father gave you. The rest of you are unconfirmed. No chatter from the young nuns, as you call them. If they know anything, they didn't say anything. Jim is gone. A lot of agents died as well. including your parents. Your father's in the hospital, comatose.
Fuck.
I have more work to do. I still have to track down some of these things. I'm going to be thorough to make sure nothing gets back to you guys. And let's lie low for a little bit. Wendy will be here to talk you through anything you need. I'll be in and out. My priority right now is keeping everyone safe.
So you're leaving again?
No, I'll be here. I'll be in this city. We'll be, I have work to do. If you'd like to speak before I go, I have some time. I would like to speak, actually.
I like that.
She gets up and walks off, leaving the rest of you at the table. I've made arrangements. Obviously, it's you're not going to be able to be there unless I figure out a way to have a night funeral, but places like Calder, I don't really do that. So, yeah. I don't want to be around this right now.
Yeah.
It sucks what happened to them, to you. I can only imagine something bad's going to happen to me the longer I'm around this fucked up mess. So, I think it's best that we separate for a bit until something gets figured out.
Yeah. Stay safe.
I want to be here for you. I know you got pissed last time I left, but I don't know what use I am in all of this shit. I'm not a vampire. I'm a vampire hunter. I don't know. I don't know.
I want you to be safe. Last time you left wasn't safe, Eddie.
I'll be safer this time. I know more this time.
Good.
I know this isn't safe.
I agree. I think it's for the best.
When we talk again, it's on better terms. Some good news.
Yeah.
Careful. The rest of you take care of her. He'll leave in for a long hug. Pull away. See the blood streaks on your face. And you can tell he's a bit disgusted. Still. I love you. Be careful.
I love you too. Stay safe.
He heads out. You step in the other room with your mother. I'm sure you have a lot of questions, and I'll answer what I can. I wish that these answers were more satisfactory, but I don't think you're going to like most of what you hear. But you deserve to know. I've hid enough from you for a very long time.
You said that you were turned like this. You sacrificed yourself to turn like this, to defeat them. Like a few years back, you said. So you and Dad separated before all of this?
Yes, he was a hunter, like I was. When you and your sister were young, he wanted... we were both supposed to retire. There's not a lot of vampire in the country. They're city-dwelling creatures. So he wanted to move out there, put down our roots, and just leave all of that behind. And it sounded nice, but you can't just unlearn that. Once you know what's going on, once you know about this shadow society, you can't just ignore it. At least I couldn't. I thought the school was a good option. I thought staying here and continuing our work, we were good. Your father was good. First Light needed us, but we separated. I thought you guys would be better out with him. I know those years were hard for you. You made it very difficult for him, but I know that's not entirely your fault.
Yeah.
Your sister doesn't know any of this, obviously.
Nothing.
No. I've tried to keep both of you safe, keep this secret from both of you. Things got bad enough here to where I had an opportunity to be embraced, so I can root out the kindred who had entrenched themselves in our organization. So I did so. From what I knew of them, you can live a double life, though it's difficult. So I'm sure you're learning.
Trying to.
I didn't realize I'd be turned into this, that I would look like this. I didn't know the clans back then. So when I was turned, there's no way I could see you again. Seeing these fangs, seeing these eyes, seeing the monster I am. But I couldn't just cut myself off completely. I don't know. I probably made the wrong decision. Trying to keep up with phone calls and whatnot. I looked for ways to hide what I was, at least to see you for little bits at a time, but our clan curse makes that very difficult. But here I am.
Wendy, she the one, she said she helped you. I'm assuming she's the one who embraced you.
She is.
Did you find her? Or did she find you? What?
I asked around, and then she found me.
She also said you're a sheriff.
No, I work for the sheriff of Chicago.
You're a cop. Oh shit! Don't tell her.
I'm listening.
He bugged us.
He's there. Oh no, he's
In a way, where you live in this city, there's not a rigid hierarchy or organization to keep kindred affairs secret and safe. In Chicago, there's a group, the Camarilla. I don't know if you know about the sects.
I heard of them, yeah.
They keep things on a tight leash. I am one of those things that help keep the peace.
And there's no Camarilla in St. Louis. It's an
They were
anarch state.
overthrown about 5 years ago. There's still some lingering, and one side or the other is fine. Honestly, I'm not super tied to. Both have their flaws, both have their benefits, but I tend to favor the one that has a better grasp on things, the one that deals with the bad kindred more so than the anarchs do. I like rules. The Camarilla have rules.
I like rules too. I had to do something the other night to protect. I guess kind of like what you said. I sacrificed so I could protect. Someone was going after Chelsea and Blake and Oliver. Another kindred and his.
Are they still in danger?
We tracked him down, hunted him, and I killed him. And not one but two of his goons. First one was hard. Fucked me up. Almost killed myself because of it. Walking into a dumb trap. And then it got easier. And then JC, the other kindred, who threatened not just my own family, but all of our families. It was really easy to drain him. And I'm scared, Mom. That's becoming this easy. I don't want, I never asked for this. I never looked to get like this. But now I find myself falling into it easier and easier, and I don't want it.
Killing is part of what you are now. it's unavoidable for the most part. But rules, like we talked about, control, not just for this society, but for yourself. It's very important to hold on to what's important, to hold on to what keeps you good, and never forget that.
Can't we just move Oliver and Chels and me and Dad to Chicago? Sounds like you have the rules there established, and
No, I'm not part of that family anymore. And I never can be.
okay.
It's not fair to uproot them.
I know.
But that makes it harder on those of us trying to protect them.
I guess just wishful thinking.
I'd rather work twice as hard to keep them safe and then be happy and blissfully unaware than
I guess you're right.
have them in a state of panic but safe.
You're right.
If that means killing some other kindred or goons or whatever, if it's a choice between them or your family, like you said, it gets easier and easier. The trick is to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Don't kill just because you can.
I haven't.
Don't kill just because someone tells you to. Kill because someone deserves it. In this line of work, dealing with kindred, you will find plenty who deserve it.
JC deserved it. The other
Nothing
two
to
were
feel bad
accidents.
about. Think of it more of a duty, though. Something that needs to be done. Once you start enjoying it, that's when it gets dangerous. And if you taking care of these people means the rest of your group can keep their hands cleaner, so be it. One who's able to come to terms with what he is better than the lot of you losing control, quickly spiraling into the beast. You've been through a lot. I know you're strong. I know you can take it. Don't push it too much, though. Don't be afraid to lean on others when it comes to it.
Spent half my life without you, and I'm finding out I'm more like you than Dad. I'd kind of go in just for like a awkward hug, not really know how to react to it.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable at first. I mean, you haven't touched or hugged your mom in years.
Yeah.
You've seen her.
That's why it's kind of like half.
Yeah,
Kinda,
it's stiff, but the intention's there, and she kind of holds you tight.
I guess we better go talk to the rest of them, see what, like you said, Wendy said we got to carve out our own path here. And if we're going to carve it, I want to make sure we do have it with the rules in place.
Yeah, go talk to the others. I'll get to work.
Thanks, Mom.
I won't be gone like I was before. I'm gonna be there for you now. Some sick way, it's easier for me to be your mother, give you advice on how to be a monster than a person.
It's kind of fucked up, but it makes sense.
Okay. She goes. The rest of you are back in. The rest of you are at the dining room table still. Is there anything you'd like to discuss as a group? Wendy is there as well.
Am I back there or am I still with? Okay. So what's the plan for tonight? Said we got to carve out our own way.
I mean, take some time. Take care of your own things if you need to. Don't want anyone distracted for when it's time to come together as a group and get something taken care of.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a quick crash course of the city and whatnot. It's important you know who the players are and how to deal with them. There are a handful of groups. The Anarchs, they're organized in what they call baronies. And the Vampire, there's enough respect or power or whatever to stake out a claim of a place. As long as they can hold it, they get it. The one in charge of the whole shebang is, well, again, Usually a prince controls a whole city. That's Camarilla rules. Here everyone's in charge a little bit, but the one with the most power, the leader of the revolt, was Brianna Yates, the HBIC. Head Baron or head bitch in charge, whichever you prefer. She controls the Ville, Central West End, Grove, Midtown. And you got Yvonne Hodges, calls herself boss. She's a venture. Brianna is actually a caitiff. Caitiff having that much power probably wouldn't go in Camarilla, but the Anarchs are fine with it. Yvonne is downtown, Wash Ave, The Landing, Lumiere Place, all of that. She's a venture through and through. Then you got Amaya Osmani, calls herself the Chancellor. Controls a lot of the colleges in the area. Wash U, Fontbonne, sort of the Clayton area. She's part of the Ministry, a new clan to the Anarch movement. Used to be Sabat. You all know Octavia. Supreme, she calls herself. Claims Soulard, Cherokee Street, south of Grand. One of the only Tremere around. House Karn, I believe. Then there's Layla. Just goes by old-fashioned Baron. Has the Loop, U City. A Bruja. And then Owen Vasquez, also Baron. One of the largest neighborhoods, but one of the holdouts from the Camarilla days. South St. Louis, Brentwood, all of that. These are the who's who. Well, and then of course there's this FANG, Fine Arts National Group of Toreadors. They were with the Camarilla, but they saw how things were going and they betrayed the Camarilla, so they got to keep their museums, their concert venues, and galleries and whatnot. In exchange for that, they got to keep their lives, though they have a fraction of the power they used to. But hey, doing better than most. I think finding this woman, finding some people kidnapping vampires, that's a good start. Get to the bottom of that, you're sure you're of some use. And that should affect most people, I assume. I'm not sure what you know about him so far, but I can do some digging if you'd like, or...
Yeah. I've fed off Octavia twice. Kind of had to be brought back from torpor. And she helped me kill another kindred. But when she rescued me in a state of madness, I threw up something solid. And when I woke up and she was there, I asked her about it, and she said it looked like something was picked up in my bile. I don't trust her.
You've been paying attention then. I wouldn't trust any of those people I just named.
Oh. I love this
Octavia,
life.
from what I understand, is definitely a new up-and-comer. So they came out of nowhere, and next thing you know, she's part of the Anarch movement and carved herself up a nice domain. Being one of the few Tremere has its benefits. But I assume she's quite crafty. I personally do not know her very well at all. I have some contacts in Fang. I know some of the old ones, but again, it's best not to spread my name around. Though I can set some things up with you with them if you'd like.
I mean, what about Jem? Do we need to do anything?
There's that weird room. He told us not to go
Yeah.
that night.
There's a lot of unanswered questions about Jem.
Did you put a bloodstone in his van?
Yeah. Shit, I did.
Would you have been able to take it back?
What?
Oh,
Probably at the school or taken.
If you focus on the bloodstone,
Yeah, I was
you would
kind of
know
focused on
it is. The van seems to be downtown, Central West End, the Cathedral Basilica.
Seems it moved. It's downtown now. Somebody took it, moved it.
Well, we have no idea how to get to his house.
If you have something of his, I know kindred who could track it. If you have something he's touched or was in possession of, give me some time, and we'll track it to its source.
I got this brochure that I took from his house.
That's what?
A brochure, the one true way.
Why are you saying it like that?
Brochure.
It's a
If you
pamphlet.
weren't Monica's kid, I swear. This will do. We touched
I
it.
was
It's
Monica's
his.
kid.
I'll take it to the people and we'll get it tracked down. You guys take care of your stuff in the meantime. I'll let you know when I have some answers to this.
Alright.
Thanks, Wendy.
Don't cause any more trouble.
Yeah, we'll try not to.
See you cats around. She will head off.
So,
What?
This that lady doesn't make any sense at all. She keeps talking in this weird language. Using.
She's
English?
She's not dressed like she dresses like it's not now and it is now. She hasn't. It's a what?
Have you seen how? Never
It's
mind.
called Vint. Have you looked at my house?
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of like in a hip way. Hers seems like in a weird like old movie way, like costumey. You know. I mean, don't tell her I said that. I think she'd probably get mad.
Charles is right behind you. Just a heads up. Yeah, nothing makes sense, man. But that's our lives now.
I gotta get.
Oh shit! Should we?
I gotta get home. I got this thing. I can hold up the hard drive. We gotta figure out what's in it. It's probably some good leads on
Oh yeah.
what the fuck this.
Make sure your
order
house
is-
isn't bugged either, man.
Yeah, and I gotta move. I gotta get a new phone.
I'd help you move, but I'm so busy today.
It's alright. You don't even have a truck, so I'm gonna take
What
off,
country
guys.
will we at, dude?
I'll be in touch, okay? I'll let you know when I find stuff out.
All right, man.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So you all have some time to take care of what you need to take care of before gathering again. We will start with Herb. So you will
Get those mugs out
head
of
back, and you're going to try to crack this hard drive. Yes.
Yes.
So get back. Delilah can start finding. You want her to start finding a new place for you guys.
Well, the first thing I do is debug my phone and everything in the house as
Sure,
much as I
sure.
can.
Yeah, it's easy enough now. You know to look for it. You take care of your stuff.
Yeah.
You find a new place pretty quickly, and you pay up front for it so you can move, and know it's not bugged or anything. Then you're going to crack this hard drive. So, I'm gonna say, give me a intelligence technology.
Yeah, it's easy to bug your or to not bug your house because you'll just have blow up furniture and bean bags. They can't hide it anywhere.
You can hide it in the beanbag. That's got a zipper.
You know an awful lot about bean bags.
Beanbag man.
Okay. Take some time. Takes days actually to. It's a pretty advanced encryption once you get in there, but you know where to look. You know how to get in initially. You had the password from last time, and you're able to dig around. You find out quite a bit. You have a list of the families in the school that were associated with. You understand it's two different groups working together. First Light is what the government agency calls itself. It just seems to be not its own agency, but a collection of people from all sorts of the alphabet agencies sort of working together, but within. It doesn't seem like one group really knows the full story. And they're working with a religious group, ties to the Catholic Church, the Society of St. Leopold. You can see that among some of the names, including your families, the Young Nuns are confirmed on there. You see they have active hunting status. They're trained hunters, as is Miles. But out of the kids, they would be the ones still around. Now you knew Miles had a sort of secret life before all of that. they've had a lot of known kindred activities since Autumn's disappearance, which Monica told you a little bit about. Obviously, they had a mass cover-up of the school fire. They know there was an attack. They assume it was the answer. There's files on Detectives Bell and Ortiz as they kept prodding. There's some options in dealing with them. Gina is also marked in sort of a similar folder. Someone who's been asking a lot of questions, and there have been different parents assigned to help her grieve and make sure she doesn't pry too much. Evelyn's house is listed as a safe house, and including a weapons stash. You can see not only were her parents, but you can see her grandparents were listed as active hunters as well. You have a list of other safe house locations. South City, downtown, Forest Park. And you can find a little bit on the sword. They don't seem, it's just sort of in the mundane financial records. It was something donated by someone. It used to be at a museum maybe. If there's something special about it, they don't seem aware of it at all. There's also some notes on Jim, but not really anything useful. It seems they don't really know anything about him either. They didn't start trying to, they weren't suspicious of him until very recently. There's also the matter of your drug business, which is after some of the attacks and after you being sort of involved where 2 people were murdered, it's sort of hurting a little bit. So I assume you're going to want Delilah to sort of be the face for a while and sort of get your contacts going again and try to get people at ease with working with you again and start expanding the business.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
Well, for sure, I'd like to make sure I call up Jordan and Evelyn kind of individually. I'll let Evelyn know that, I cracked the hard drive. A crazy old lady. I mean, she's not that old, but she's old. And she seems to be right. Your parents are listed. My parents are listed, and your house says it's a safe house. There's like some gun stash or weapon stash there.
Eddie had at least.
No, I mean I don't think a single.
Like,
I mean it's
guns.
mentioned. There's like a dollar amount here, and it's pretty high.
Yeah.
That's a good gun.
It's like a really nice pistol.
Maybe
No.
look into that.
I'm gonna do some digging in my parents'
Yeah.
room at the house. There's a safe in there. I'm gonna see what I can dig up.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know.
Take a look. It's pretty wild to see all this kind of written down. Typed down into the
Yeah.
computer.
I get what you mean.
This is wild, right? This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
craziest thing. All right.
Did you figure anything out about your dad?
I mean, he's in here. He's listed as an ex-agent. So.
You notice your mom is not. She's noted as, she's aware. She's friendly, but not. She's not active in any way with their operations.
Yeah, seems my mom wasn't one of them, but she's like listed in here as contact or something.
God, that's wild.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if I find anything.
Also, your grandparents are in here.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I think your whole family's like narcs.
So it checks out.
Yeah, thanks, Herb.
Yeah.
It's genetic. It's not really your fault. It's just in your genes.
Alright. Well, I guess we'll catch up in a bit.
I'll let you know if I find anything else out.
Okay, yeah. Oh, and if you have any like cool swords, like let me know.
Yeah, if there's swords, I'll definitely let you know.
Like, did you guys actually handle that sword? Well, you didn't see it because you were all like,
Getting staked through the.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it felt good, you know. Like,
I'm the filming.
I think it might be like a natural or something.
Yeah. I have it on speakerphone. I'm digging through something else. I'm
Uh-huh.
just gonna let him talk.
It's like I talk for
Yeah,
a
And
good
it's just
while.
like, oh yeah, no, you're great.
And the
I just
zeitgeist.
kind of like start talking about like it almost felt like an extension of my arm.
That's
in that
crazy.
moment.
You just start recapping Samurai Jack episodes.
All right, and then after that, I'll call up Jordan. Hey, Jordan, how's it going? Pretty
Got your
shitty, I
swords?
imagine.
Yeah,
Got swords?
about the same as the last,
Yeah.
I don't know how long,
Yeah.
18 years.
Yeah, I hear you. Life sucks. Teenagers, right?
You
Are you
gotta,
racing?
Scared. Shit out of me.
kill yourself.
Listen, there's a lot of information in this hard drive.
Oh, did you crack it?
Yeah, I busted it open and looking at it and I just want to let you know there's some pretty concerning files in here about Gina.
Like she knew?
I don't think she knew. They seem to note that she's asking a lot of questions and there's some ambiguous but kind of ominous things about drawing up plans or solutions and I don't know. It seems like her dying in that car accident's a bit convenient. And when you look at the file they have, just I feel like you should know.
Well, I'm not surprised. That's what I guess thought from the beginning. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I know that it must be a huge shock for you guys finding out about your parents. That whole group fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm having trouble feeling compassion about it all. And I'm gonna take some time away from the group for, a few days. I know we all have our stuff going on, but if I seem a little bit disconnected, like, it's not you, it's your dad.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Damn, that's hot.
I understand, Jordan. You know what? I'm right there with you. I don't fucking have much sympathy for these people at all. And when the time comes and we need to do something about them, I'm here for you. We'll take them. We'll do it. We'll be able to take them out together. We'll pay them back.
Sounds good to me. Hey, I'm gonna go, but I'll talk to you later. Let me know if you find out anything else or anything.
Yeah.
All right. What else do you want to do during your break?
I would like to pay a visit to my father
Daddy.
in the hospital one night.
Sure. Are you like signing in, or are you trying to sneak in?
I would just sign in.
No
Sure.
fucking shit.
Yeah, you go in, where you are. Go there. I'm assuming, do you want to, pretty late. And you arrive, finding your father comatose but stable. Your mother doesn't seem to be there at the moment. Glancing at some of his charts, you can see that he will likely pull through, but a lot is still very much up in the air.
Okay. Pull up a chair next to him. Kind of sit down, kind of put my hand on his, and just kind of sit there quietly for a second, kind of look at him, just like, man, this doesn't make any sense, Dad. It's just like, all of my life, I thought you were like, kind of boring and I mean, like, you were cool sometimes when, like, you helped with, like, you know, a few tickets and stuff like that. I can't believe that you guys were into this kind of thing. I can't believe you could, like, keep something from me so well. I mean, I usually see these kinds of things. I just didn't realize you could be worse than boring. You could be one of these, like, narcs. Oh, gosh. I mean, you treated James pretty shitty. I mean, maybe I should have saw that coming from there. I mean, you wanted an arc on him. That's why he left. And I just, I don't know. I thought you were something different. I guess I'm sorry for not seeing it. I don't know. I'm just a bit confused. I don't know why I'm fucking even talking to you. And I stand up and take the bugs that he used on me, and I start to plant them in the room. If his cell phone's somewhere nearby, kind of try to bug that
Okay.
via his.
Give me another intelligence technology.
But 4?
Okay. Yeah, you feel very confident in your counter-bugging with this stuff.
Scramble it.
I kind of sigh in disappointment as I kind of look around the
You
room,
flip a pancake.
look at my dad,
Scrambling eggs.
kind of walk up to him, just kind of
Scramble your eggs.
put my hand on his shoulder again, just kind of drop my head and leave.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to accomplish during your...
Yeah, the only other thing is Herb would be setting up in his new place a room, a studio of sorts. Purchasing a kind of like a lot of bamboo, like
Screens.
No.
no, like the bamboo like sword
Stalks.
technique stocks
Yeah.
stuff. Setting up some dummies.
I would also
Setting
need
up a
screens.
real big like TV.
For anime.
And he'd spend a lot more time like messing with the sword, practicing. He finds somebody on the internet who does like a YouTube channel of like sword
Sensei Billy.
techniques. Sensei Billy. And he just kind of like gets really deep into it, and occasionally sneaks over to Evelyn's house, kind of watches old Kurosawa films and like old Japanese films, and slowly he kind of gets really immersed into it.
Slowly.
Kind of starts to wear his head pulled back, or his hair pulled back, his head as well. His
Just like
hair,
in bad
his hair
taste.
pulled back into like a shitty samurai bun,
Sure.
top knot kind of style, and yeah, he gets really into it, practicing kind of like a lot of his free time, and kind of like getting a really shallow cultural like idea of like what it means to be like one with the world and nature and the blade itself.
Sure.
So bad taste.
Yeah. Delilah's been through worse phases with you. She lets you do
I
your
try to buy her
thing.
kimonos.
Just wear it. I'm wearing mine.
He walks around Evelyn's house and he's like, I don't know.
It's a very short
Okay.
It's the one Delilah wouldn't wear.
You go towards
I like this one better.
Jordan. What would you like to accomplish during your time?
I'm gonna go back to the coven, and spend the majority of my time there. Probably all my time there.
I know we talked about you're getting a new mask since your old one got compromised. So you'd meet up with Loki again, and he would be able to find you something he acquired from Octavia to help you permanently change your hair color, as you would learn. Probably trying to do it yourself at first, realizing you revert back to the way
After
you
the
were.
night.
Yeah. So he would find something that you can take that helps your hair color stay permanently changed, and gets you a new ID and all of that and stuff as well. And then you've leaned on the coven quite a bit. When the three arrive, they would take you to the back to have a talk with you. And we will get into that when we return from our final break. So, yeah, bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, we are back. By we, I mean two of us. So, let's get right into this. Jordan, you are getting yet another new identity. You are brought to the back of Coven, a strip club you work at, to three vampires who you now know as Scarlet, Nora, and Mizuki. They'd bring you towards sort of that other building. It seems like it's not in use, but you have a bit of a haven there. They let you stay. Take you back to sort of a meeting room, that area, attached to the club but separate. Scarlet would sit you down with the others, probably after you've worked a little bit. We've helped each other quite a bit. More specifically, our group has helped you, which we're happy to do. But it's gotten to the point where, now that you are what you are, we are creatures who need teams, need packs, need groups. While we'll obviously still support you as a person, to continue to lean on us in these additional ways, we're going to require some sort of official loyalty from you. If you trust us, we trust you to be part of our group. That's not something that you should take lightly. There's a lot that goes along with being one of us that you won't entirely understand at first, but will in time. I'll be upfront letting you know that to be part of us means it'll be very difficult for you to be part of anything else. The other sects, the other teams, the Camarilla, the Sabbat, the Anarchs, they all have ideals that don't exactly align with ours. Many have a problem with that, but it is their problem. By being one of us, you will have our unwavering support and assistance, but you'll be part of something most will not understand, including your current coterie. Also understand we are quite independent. To be part of our group does not mean you're attaching yourself to anything else, just us, just the three women you see before you now. We've been around for a bit, specifically this group. There was a time where we used others' insistence on underestimating us to our advantage. We were simply specialists. We were embodiments of the dangerous fetishes that people often associate with vampires. Stirring tropes turned very real. But our kind has had time to accomplish so much, yet we rarely escape the pleasure, or the cycle of pleasure, power, pain. No better than mortals in most cases. Only physical sensations are dull to us. You've fed. I'm sure you've experienced the pleasures of feeding, and that's one of the few physical sensations left to our kind. So, we were trained to help kindred feel again. We became invaluable in this because we made them feel things they hadn't in decades, millennia. We had our use. We had our masters. Our masters fell. We stayed. And times have changed. We're no longer interested in being underestimated or taken lightly. We're forced to be respected, feared, desired. We don't slip under the radar, but we insist that others worship at our altar. To be in our coven is akin to being a goddess, a demon maybe. Not a shadow, but the flame us creatures at night are now denied. We're all bound by something you seem quite familiar with, if we understand your story right, and that's suffering. Each of us has experienced a great tragedy, and now so have you, more than one. We've all been humbled. through this, we're worthy of being masters of our own fate with clear vision. Do you feel this is something you're interested in? We're not offering you a release from the suffering, but an embrace of it.
I want to be upfront with you. This is something I want. I do also feel an attachment to my coterie. We've shared all these experiences together, and we've suffered together, and like you said, that's a binding experience. But at the same time, we're together because of forced experience. It wasn't organic, it wasn't a choice, and I won't be surprised if at some point we grow apart, like any high school friends do at some point in their lives, who were friends merely by circumstances. I also, my foster mom was killed. My sire was killed. And even though it's not the coterie's fault, their parents are deeply involved in a lot of my pain and a lot of my suffering, and I can't pretend that I don't resent their heritage and subsequently them for some of that. They are in pain now, but it is a first pain for them. It is not suffering for their entire lives. And maybe I think them overly shallow in some instances, but I don't think it will play into their long-term realities. I use my pain to understand others and myself. And I really desire the sisterhood and the support in that, to not be drowned in that pain and that suffering, but to use it and to make something of it. And I think if there was anyone to guide me through that and help me make something more of it than just ashes, it's you.
We don't believe in ashes. We don't believe in utter destruction of anything. There's always a lesson to be learned, and that pain, the hurt, and death and finality, there's nothing to gain from that. As far as your friends are concerned, you are more than welcome to continue being part of your coterie. Guide them. Use what you know, what they don't understand, to help them on a path that's works not just for you, but for themselves. We're all about teaching others. Again, being part of us means you're part of us first and foremost, but it does not prevent you from having loyalty to others by any means. Your friends are young, and they've been through a lot. Hopefully they will not have the same prejudice against you that others have against our group. What do you know about where you came from? Not your family, but you as a kindred.
Jim explained everything to me already, right? I saw everything?
Yeah, he gave
Okay.
you the rough thing
Okay.
with Cain and all that.
Yes. Wait, like the long history? Is that what she's asking about? Okay.
However you want to take it.
But I know about being turned. Okay. I know, well, I mean, in short term, I know that I was supposed to be dead, and Jim didn't let it happen. In the long term, I guess, like Bible stuff, like Cain was cursed and was actually like kindred or something. All that.
It's important to know where we came from, I think. I'm quite interested in history and our roots. Something as seemingly supernatural as what we are. You can't help but to wonder how it started. Many just simply ignore it. They're just worried about their own personal jihad, their own personal quest for power. They don't care about where they came from. Others are obsessed with it. Something called Gehenna. They believe the end of times. They believe these ancient vampire will rise again from their torpor and consume all of us. No one has it quite right. You have to forgive our dramatics, something instilled in us for many years. But ritual, ceremony are important to us, especially since our symbols and our history have mostly been stolen. But to be us is to know where we truly come from, where you truly come from. And with that knowledge will come hatred for the aeons old patriarchy that's benefited from their narrative. Are you familiar with the Lilith of the Bible?
Yeah, a little bit. I took like an advanced like religious literature kind of class for a little bit.
Lilith bought her freedom with suffering. She was forsaken and cursed for her crime of rejecting God's paradise. So we carry that curse. We suffer, as she does, but we also have complete freedom available to us, should you be strong enough to take it.
Like actual free will.
Exactly. Many officially do not recognize our past, instead, again, focus on their own things. Most think Cain, also from the Bible, was the first kindred. And in a way, perhaps he was. But without Lilith, there would be no Cain as we know him. There would be no vampire. You see, Cain betrayed her, as had everyone in her life, yet he owes everything to her. The dark mother who gave him dark gifts and nurtured him with her own blood. She was the first. Through his betrayal and his stealing of her abilities, he birthed the rest. But people like to stop at Cain. They don't like to think about where he came from and what it means to be from her, not from him. But we can teach you. We can teach others. Mostly, we can make them feel something transcendent. And if you're able to do this, you'll be able to become one of us. Follow. Take you deeper to one of these seemingly abandoned VIP rooms where you could see through a one-way mirror. This circular room with all sorts of symbols and blood written on the walls. It seems like a very dark, terrible place, but there's a sensuality to it as well. There's a very soft, sort of just middle, sort of almost bed cushion type thing that they're just sitting on, waiting. A man and a woman, 30s. Quite attractive. Seem nervous and excited. Scarlett says, this couple has paid a great deal of money to experience this transcendence. If If we can take them through a complete life cycle before releasing them to death, if we can show them the story of what happened to us, our kind, we'll give them a great gift. They know what's going to happen to an extent. They know they're going to experience something terrible, but something unlike they've ever had before. Life is often more cruel than death. Its senselessness and tedium, but we'll show them the better parts of life, the real parts of life, transcendence through torment. Do you think you'll be able to do this? Follow our lead? I will be upfront with you. One will not survive, which is a shame. Again, we try to avoid death, but in this instance, it's required for your initiation.
Will the other be okay with that?
They will be better than they ever have before. Okay is, nobody wants to just be okay.
You want to feel.
Again, this isn't required. This is something you're comfortable with.
I think maybe it is required for me. You have to take the first step for your journey to start. I think this is a time for it. There's so much pain building up in the back of my head. It feels like it's going to seep out of me.
Caught you at the right time then.
I think so.
Let's begin. She takes you another room, and everyone changes to definitely seems almost like fetish size, similar to things you could wear in the actual club.
Uh-huh.
But there's a very methodical dressing ceremony sort of involved in this. And each helps the other one get dressed and put on their different attire before you're led into the room with the couple. So you're brought in. Mizuki places an apple in your hand. Bathed in blood, all of you eat from it. What do you do?
I do as she says.
How do you get the blood for the apple? The three sort of fan out a little bit across the room and watch you, the couple looking around at them and both settling their gaze on you. Again, this sort of nervous excitement, not sure what to expect. She whispered in your ear. They don't seem to have heard her instructions to you. Around the room, there's all sorts of instruments of pleasure and pain, instrument device or torture devices, as well as different toys of that nature.
She didn't indicate whether it's supposed to be my blood or theirs.
She did not. Seems she's interested to see what you do.
How are the couple sitting? Are they like sitting side by side or back to back?
Back to back. They both have looked over at you, but they're back to back.
I like walk around them, kind of like almost teasing them in a way, like they don't know what's happening.
Sure. The breathing gets heavy as they watch. Just watch her every move, wondering what's to come next, building anticipation.
And I go to the woman and like straddle her so that he can't see.
Okay.
And if he tries to turn, I slap him back
Sure,
looking
yeah.
straight.
He starts moving a little bit. He's, pop his head back into place and he stiffens up.
And like I caress the woman, and then I gently lean into her neck and bite just barely enough to get blood on the apple.
Sure. You bite. She lets out a soft whimper. His blood starts leaking down, covering the apple in your hand. Her breathing starts getting heavier,
Right.
pumping the blood a little more.
I lick it shut,
Okay, the wound closes.
and then I, dismount and like walk over and hold the apple, waiting for the three
No, she instructed, just to
for them to eat.
eat, all of you. You and the two.
Okay. So I take a bite.
Okay. You take a bite of this blood-soaked apple, put it up to each of their mouths. They hesitate at first and then bite into it as well. Give me a stamina plus composure.
Three successes.
Okay. So your body can no longer consume food, no longer hold food. The blood coating the apple skin helps it slide down. You fight it for a second, but you keep it down. And then Nora steps forward. It's very good. It's time for them to feel pleasure now. Go ahead and give me a performance and charisma.
Performance is my specialty, so I add an extra die for that.
Sure.
A critical, so that's
4,
Four,
7, 8. Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
dude. Why don't I roll like this all the time?
So then you begin a more traditional, sexualized part of this ritual. So they guide you through as you undress the two. The three of you ride together for a little bit, and you get instructions to make sure the man takes the woman. They talk about she needs the seed. So you guide them through this act, making sure that happens between them as just the height of ecstasy is all three of you together. The bloodied apple in all of you performing something you're more familiar with as you lead them through just this completely ecstatic moment. Then Scarlet hands you a knife. Says, remove his rib. Do not kill him. And these two are just seemingly drunk off of this experience they've had so far. Just the room hot with their just their heavy breathing and whatnot. And both of them just covered in sweat, a little bit of blood, almost passed out from the experience that you guided them through. Go ahead and give me a... Let me see. You don't have medicine, do you?
No.
Give me a resolve and a cult, actually. Do you have a cult? Just give me a straight resolve check then.
One success.
You can choose if you like. You could blood surge, or you could use willpower to reroll one of them.
I'll
Or
blood
both.
surge.
Sure. Roll to see if you get hungry.
Nope.
You don't get hungry.
Success.
So add another die. So you have one success. So you have two more die. If you like use a willpower, you can reroll those two.
Yes.
Sure.
Nope.
Okay.
Still one success.
Just one. Do you proceed? You take the knife and attempt to. What do you do?
I ask her to help me. It's like,
Sure.
I don't know how to do this. Can we make it the two of us?
She has you go at first, and been in fights before. Not squeamish, but this sort of
I
surgical.
don't know how to not kill him.
Yeah, this is different. And he screams out. He fights against you. He moves a lot, and you cut into him bad. But the other two hold him down. Scarlet and Nora hold his torso down. The woman just sort of falls on the ground. Is just sort of staring, confused, but too awestruck to really get involved or try to stop you. As blood squirts on your face, starts pouring down up in your arms. So you eventually pry out one of the ribs, very messily, and he quickly starts going into shock. We don't have much time. Mizuki helps you a little bit at the end, making sure it's not immediately fatal, but you've done some damage already. Then, let's see, they let him go, and he's too weak, lost too much blood to really move much. They point at some of the symbols, and they hand you the rib. Carve those in her. The woman just looks at them and looks at you, just terror on her face. It's just now starting to maybe move a little bit, but not sure where to go or what to do. How do you proceed?
I study the symbols really fast. Are there multiple symbols they pointed out? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I go over still trying to distract her by still trying to make it seem sensual rather than something out of a Saw movie.
Sure.
Because they talked about it was still supposed to be a sensual experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in and bite her neck again, just a little bit.
Sure.
Try to bring back the eroticness of the situation.
The kiss of the vampire.
Yeah.
Give me another charisma manipulation.
On that one. This and this. God, what is up? 3 successes. I'm gonna spend another willpower and
Sure.
roll again. So still 3 successes.
3. You give her the vampire kiss. You calm her down a little bit. You make this to where you don't stab into her with this. It's still sort of it's a bloody rib bone, jagged at one edge, but you were careful. You almost caress it with her, still breaking the skin, still drawing a little bit of blood, still carving the runes, but not digging into her with them. And it's that mixture. It's that sensation along her skin, gentle yet painful, as far as her performance of doing it. And she seems at ease. You get that mixture that they spoke of. And while the others do the same to the man who's barely conscious now. As you finish, Mizuki takes the rib from you, hands it to Scarlet, who breaks it, drinks from the marrow of one, and gives you the other part of the bone.
I follow suit.
Okay. Sucking down some of the marrow from this rib bone and sort of moaning a little bit, again, just in more confusion, but still feeling something. The woman just completely in her throes. They place both next to each other again. And Scarlet places her hand on the woman's stomach. She says, "Drink your fill." Takes her hand off.
Was she referring to the woman?
Mm-hmm.
I do it.
Okay. Where do you drink from?
Did it seem like she was indicating to drink like from her stomach? Like,
Mhm.
I go to do it. I hesitate just briefly, and then I.
Sure. Eventually just caught up in everything going forward. The woman seems at peace, more than at peace. She seems out of her mind in a good way a little bit. As you drink, and she just sort of cradles your head on her, rubs your hair a little bit as you drink all the way, if you so choose.
Seems to be what was indicated to do.
Eventually, for the first time in a while, you feel completely satisfied. The beast silent as it's fully satiated. The other three bring you up, arrange the two together. The man alive, but barely. Each of them take turns asking you, do you promise to test your own courage and weakness?
I do.
Do you promise to show no fear in the face of death or pain?
I do.
Will you bring pain to others for their enlightenment and your own?
I will.
Do you understand that suffering is a better teacher than death, even for your enemies?
I do understand.
Will you embrace that which nearly destroys you, leaving only the truest parts of yourself as roots for your growth?
Yes.
Will you be a teacher, torturer, and lover to any who seek enlightenment?
I will.
They bring out a book written in some language you don't understand at the front. Open it before you. Read. And you read a paragraph, and they chant with you. It says, when I first tasted the fruit of the trees, felt the seeds of life and knowledge burn within me, I swore that day I would never go back. When first I tasted the flesh of the kill, felt the tang of the blood and the crunch of the bones, I swore that day I would not die. When first I tasted my own blood, felt the surge and the stir of my own life on my lips, I swore that day to love myself. When first I tasted the light of the moon, felt its glow in my womb and its wild tenderness, I swore that day to walk in night. When first I tasted the love of a god, felt the tearing rise of song and fire, I swore that day to cherish the flesh. When first I tasted the salt of the sea, felt my blood become water as the sky fell behind me, I swore that day to descend and return with wonders. When first I tasted the love of a child, screamed with the joy of new life, and wept for what I had lost and gained, I swore that day to nurture life even as I cherished death. I swear by 3 times 3 times 3 that these 7 moments shall remain my own, and whatever may transpire, no beast, nor god, nor man shall take them from me. I swear by myself and my immortality. Hail, Lilith. As you complete this, the book is closed. The room seems to grow darker. As you feel, I don't know, what are you feeling in this moment?
I feel a strange connection to the 2 humans in the room. It's like when you share any kind of intimate experience, you feel that kind of connection. And for the first time in a really long time, I feel like a familial connection, a sisterhood. But I think deep down inside, I'm also very scared. There's a strange power in these rituals. And I didn't grow up a religious person. That more likely laughed at, the Catholic school teachings I was forced to endure, and so seeing this kind of power in like almost a religion freaks me out a little bit, because for the first time that seems real, and it's kind of dark, but it speaks to me still. So I'm scared of that darkness. I'm very upfront about these painful experiences I feel, but I always shy away from the darkness it's like created inside of me.
It would take you out of that room, give you some aftercare, let you work through your feelings. They'll feel them with you, actually. You could tell even a little bit of fear. You see even them. You don't feel alone in this. You don't feel like these are all demonic whatever, and I'm like, they all seem a little shook up by what happened. You could tell it's not just you who was rattled by what happened. They felt it. They comfort each other. They comfort you. Just let you know. Now more than a mortal, more than a kindred, you are Bahari. That word strikes fear into some. Use it wisely, but do not flaunt it. And then, over the next, as time passes, you're officially inducted. It's a way of self-defense. Another part of a ritual, part of becoming them, is learning how to protect yourself, learning combat. Mizuki can train you with these knives that you've dabbled in a little bit. And they teach you about their lineage a little bit, which back when they were never really a clan, but they were enveloped into a different clan. But that was in the day when there were no woman warriors, at least not in their part of the world. So a big part of becoming one of them was teaching a woman how to fight. That's still considered very important and very empowering for them. So there's very formal training in this during the time, as well as teachings and readings from the book that's called Revelations of the Dark Mother. Parts of it are translated to where you can read. And you start to learn a little bit about the history of the kindred, something you've never really delved into before in this darker evil, but also, like they said before, a lot of their symbols, their rituals, their past was taken from them. So they believe in evoking them again.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily that they believe they're truly calling down this Lilith power to strike at people. It's more of something that they share, something that there's power in acknowledging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that happens. As a result, you are now officially part of the Bahari. You would also lose a dot in humanity. And then we'll throw Jordan in with the rest and continue on with this little adventure.
Oh, a knife thing that I wanted to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was watching a show the other day, and she had like these curved blades, like she had on, like they had like a ring that went on her fingers, so she could like flip them.
Yeah.
And then so eventually, I just wanted
You want
to
to work your way up to
Yeah.
some fancy? Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely in their wheelhouse. All right, cool. We'll bring in the others.
All right.
All right, we're back together again, and now we're going to see what Evelyn is up to. Evelyn, your parents are dead.
Shit, alright.
The funerals are in the day, so you can't go.
Ooh.
Bummer.
And you found out your house is some sort of safe house weapons cache. What do you want to do?
So I want to go downstairs, go to my parents' room, go through their shit.
Yeah, so the safe that you guys found many sessions ago and sort of half forgot about,
It's probably not important.
taking some, the one that JC was trying to get into. You take some time, probably takes you a few days actually, to try different things before you eventually crack the safe.
Nice.
And you open it up, and it looks like a normal safe with some money, jewels, whatnot. and another little like safety deposit box looking thing in there. But that hides sort of this little thing you activate that pulls the whole safe and sort of wall out, leading to a ladder. It's a metal ladder that goes straight down. And you go down into a sub-layer that you didn't realize was ever in this place. A bunker of sorts, probably built during the old wars. And in here you find sort of your, seems to be more of your grandparents' thing. There's pictures of them at different hunts, at different locations all over the world. Sure enough, there are weapons, some old school, almost medieval looking weapons, as well as there's been an updated section with like nice like military grade body armor, assault rifles and whatnot. As well as just like little souvenirs and stuff from their hunts and their travels. And yeah, you can see your grandparents were quite active in the hunting business. As well as the movie business. There's still a lot of photos of. You can tell some photos from the same places that are upstairs of your grandfather with famous sort of Hollywood people. There's ones that are in like the same locations with other sort of more disturbing looking people, vampires or whatnot. It seems like they were probably like deep undercover. Not really, I mean hunting, but also sort of schmoozing with kindred society in Hollywood as well. Yeah, got all of this at your hands should you need it.
Cool.
You know how to use a gun, right?
Cool. So, noted, there's a bunker. I also want to, I guess I would probably have had to do this before chronologically, but I want to make like a nice like movie video reel for the funeral since I can't be there.
Sure.
Like put a lot of time in and make something like vacation pictures and videos.
Like an in memoriam sort of.
Yeah, just like
PowerPoint.
Something a
better
little more than like a cheesy slideshow.
Yeah, like so it's not like an iMovie thing. Like
Yeah, but something like a nice, like an artistic but very respectful video ode to your parents and your family.
You will
Yeah, you spend some time putting that together, submitting that in your absence. Your brother would tell you he'll cover for you at the funeral and whatnot. Come up with some reason why you weren't there. Okay.
Her parents just died. Hey.
Grief.
Lots of grief. My parents and my whole school. And my grandparents like a year before this.
She's definitely like
It's been a rough time.
taking a rich person vacation, as in visiting a
Branson.
padded room.
And okay. Taking care of that stuff during that time. Oh, and Wendy would give you a bit more of a deep dive into Fang, this toy
yeah.
world group.
I want to ask about that.
She will.
I just got that fine arts. Pretty good.
You know, Fang is made up of 5 people, all Toreador. The leader of the group is Dimitri Blue, sort of in charge of the concert venues, sort of opera type stuff, Powell Hall, Sheldon, Stifle Theater. Then there's Steeltooth Bradley. He has domain over a lot of the jazz and blues places in the city. Jazz at the Bistro, the Blues Museum, Cafe Ventana, and whatnot. Then there's Romo and Remy. They are artists, twins. They're in charge of the art galleries, the art museum, the sculpture park, and whatnot. And there's Margaret Thorne, goes by the director. Domain involves the Muni, Fox, Tivoli, New Line, different theater companies, both cinema and stage. And they make up the group. She said there's also some Toreador holdouts who run Lafayette Square. Used to be very prominent, but their family's definitely lost a lot of its luster in the recent years. They're headed by Madame Marie de Rosier. but it's a potential toreador contract should you so choose. Yeah, she'll give you the. And if there's any you would like to meet, she can start setting up something like that.
Yeah, I would maybe mention Margaret Thorne down the line. I'd be interested in talking to, but I want to get everything sorted
Sure.
more personally.
She'll, reach out to her on your behalf then. As she said, that if any of the groups can know she's there and okay with it, it would be this group. Okay. And Elijah, what would you like to be doing during this time?
The next few days, there's two things I want to do. A lot of it just hang out with Lily and Jeezy.
Yeah, working on music, getting ready for the concert.
Getting ready for the concert, and
finishing
then
the songs.
kind of drop Jeezy for a little bit and hang out one-on-one with Lily as much as I can.
Yeah, like I said, she's in her element. You guys are in a good spot as far as just all the grief, all the weird tension between you, all the weird things I haven't been able to really explain.
I apologized.
Yeah, you sure did. She's willing to just ignore most of that for
Enough
now
of
and focus on this new song she's been working on. It's really starting to come along.
Awesome. If time-wise, I want to do some investigation work on the ghoulies. I kind of want to, like, if I could, like, take Lily and Jeezy out, we'll go visit some clubs, just make faces out downtown, and just kind of, like, I know last time we saw him was, like, in that area, so I just kind of want to do.
Sure. Give me a charisma investigation.
One.
Use any will on that.
Yes. I can only do 3, can't I? Yeah.
That's how it worked.
Take that. 3.
Okay. You talking around, mostly asking about, you know the name ghoulies. You know their general, how they look, bikers.
Monster helmets.
And whatnot. People have seen them around. You're not able to necessarily pinpoint an exact, like, hangout spot. It's not like there's one spot that, like, yeah, you can always find a ghoulie there.
Okay.
There's definitely one or two poke around different sort of music places like that. And you have the feeling that should you stake one out long enough or bait them into something like that, you have a feeling like if there was some incident that they'd be interested in happen at some of your spots, you would assume they would arrive.
Okay.
So there might be a chance to just catch them on the right day and just find them. But if something were to happen, because they're at the lookout for kindred, that you would definitely get a response in these places.
Okay. Like these punk venues and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, I just want to, like, just show face, like, get people excited for White Foxes, get people excited for the concert, and just, like, let them know we're going to do.
Active on media, and also, in the bars, hanging out with your people and talking it up and whatnot.
Talk to Spencer and shit.
Okay.
But that's, like, the bulk of what I would do, sorry.
Sure. So after some time, you guys spending a couple weeks, maybe a little more, working on your individual things, finishing up what you need to finish up, getting some new things started. Wendy would call everyone back to the place. Everyone's home. And once everyone's arrived, say, it's been word. And by word, I mean they sent someone here, but luckily I made sure I wasn't around. But my contacts tell me Octavia's looking for you. You as a group, I should say. It's probably best to, obviously she knows where you are, knows where you live. Probably best to pay her a visit. Sooner than later. But again, don't go asking her for help. Don't go coming to her with problems. See what she wants. Make your best judgment call about it if you want to give it to her. We haven't had a chance to establish ourselves yet, so play it cool if you think you can. And if you can't, well, just play it cool. 'Cause you'll probably destroy you otherwise.
Sounds good.
Noted.
All right.
Um,
If things go bad, you know how to contact me?
No.
do you have a cell phone?
Carrier pigeon.
You jerk.
Call
We
the
used to use
house?
this quite a bit, actually. Call the house. I'll pick up.
Okay.
Like you still have a house phone.
We kind of mentioned it, but just so we cover our tracks, those two detectives they came by here, Ortiz and Bell. So they might come back again. So just want to give you a heads up on that.
That's fine. Charles loves pigs.
Anything?
That was ominous. I wanted to attack him. It'll be fine.
Okay. Well, no, we were just waiting to see what he wanted to say. Anything? She summed it up.
Why are
All
we
right.
waiting for him?
He usually has. All right. You guys have anything to do tonight? Should we just take care of Octavia tonight?
Should we also address something that maybe we should deal with sooner than later?
What's that?
Could I help but notice your outfit change, bud?
Yeah,
they've
it's
gotten
just, the hair was getting in the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes, swinging vigorously can sometimes whip around.
Why have band-aids all over your fingers?
Or just blisters,
Golfing.
What? Like recent? Like from today? Because those shouldn't still be there.
Yeah, I mean, I practiced a bit.
Are you always going to carry that sword with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like pretty handy. You
Someone
weren't-
explain the Masquerade to you a lot.
They have.
Then again, I guess most people don't associate samurai swords with vampires, so... You know what? You go for it, kid. The rest of you watch it.
We have security tapes. We're watching them.
I wouldn't notice my hair, but then
It looks great.
his is just styled differently, and mine's completely
Jordan,
different color.
New shoes?
Are those your shoes?
All right, let's get in the
I'm
car.
less worried about yours. It seemed like an aesthetic choice, and it looks fine on you. His, red flags, but...
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. So, we're good.
All right. Kids have fun.
All right.
Get in the car.
See, what you gotta do is you gotta carry knives on you so people don't call you out. But,
So you have knives?
These ones. Yeah. I mean,
Do you have anything on you?
it's a couple weeks.
Not
so-
on me. Do you want a gun?
Got
Nah.
plenty. Alright.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, you've been away. She's got a cache of guns.
She found it safe.
I'm glad we can use those so well.
I'm glad all of us are trained in guns, and I get in the car.
All right.
Trained
Go
in guns.
down to Soulard, down to Arcadia, club where Octavia holds court. Make your way up to the roof where she has that lavish garden and the vines and the flower canopy. You're led to her where she's with Ari, Tethys, and Leo. This decent group actually tonight. People hanging out with them.
That's good news.
And they see you enter, and Octavia gestures to some seats. Some other people get up to allow you to sort of sit in a semicircle around them.
I gotta get my
Jordan.
jacket on so it looks
Jordan,
tough.
be cool.
I sit in the seats.
I'll sit down.
Same.
Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Of course.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'm accustomed to helping out of trouble every day or so.
I guess that's a fair assessment, but
Trying to get better about it.
yeah, we're learning this new lifestyle.
It's good.
Some of us, I
You
looked
seem
at
to
her.
be fast learners. It's useful.
Trying to.
A lot of strange things have been happening around the city. The names keep popping up. I have some things I'm trying to accomplish that I may actually be able to use your help for. I've helped you out so much. I'm assuming you'll be able to return the favor. I would very much like to be in contact with this Jim individual that you have mentioned so many times, mostly accidentally from what I've gathered, but still, I couldn't help but notice the ward located in your home. Something quite powerful, the likes of which I haven't seen since my days at the Chantry. I'm assuming none of you are capable of that. So I'd like to speak to someone who is.
Jim died.
He's no longer with us.
He's one with the universe again.
I don't know what he said, but he died. For good.
I didn't know we were talking about that yet. We should discuss this more.
She looks over at Tethys, the smaller one, the big eyes and the pale skin and dress, and she just looks over at Tavia and nods. I don't like being lied to, but I'm sorry to hear about your friend.
Yeah. We took it pretty hard.
Yeah, sure you have. There might be another way you can help me, though. I recall from tasting each of your blood before that one of you has an innate ability for blood sorcery. Something quite rare. Though amateur you may be, still could probably use your help. Again, we're planning something important. We'd appreciate your assistance. If you'd like to stay with me for the next few weeks. And in exchange, I'm sure you'll learn quite a bit as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a real nice offer, but I'm gonna have to pass. Yeah, I got a lot on my plate right now. I'm just kind of super busy, so thanks, but no thanks.
I assure you, we will take up some of your time. If you have other errands you need to run, you can arrange for some assistance in those.
Yeah, it's more that I just don't feel like I'd like to be obligated to do anything like that for you. You see, unlike my friends here, I'm not necessarily too excited to be in anyone's debt. And
Okay.
I'd rather run it alone. So, with all due respect,
This was a simple courtesy, a favor for a favor. You help us, we help teach you a little bit about something you probably have a very meager understanding of.
well,
I don't consider you in my debt, though I would like to remind you that I have assisted your little group on more than one occasion. I can't imagine the state you'd be in without me.
That's fair, but like you said, I was the one who is in your debt, and I asked you 1,000 times what I could do to pay back. So what can I do? Not
You can convince your friend to make the right decision. That's what you can do.
look at his top knot. I've tried to convince him on other stuff before. And he's thick, this one.
With 2 C's.
Thank you.
You don't want to learn more. You don't want to understand this power you have.
I am pretty good at learning on my own. That's how I've gotten most of my knowledge, and I think I'm going to continue to do that. Though, again, I appreciate the offer. It's just not my style. This whole mentorship, I think.
I understand. I'm not going to cramp your style. It's typically not my style to go out of my way to help as much as I have, risk as much as I have. But should I need your assistance or should you need me? Simply call. You know where I am. I should remind you that I know where you are.
I nod. I stand up from the table, give a tight bow, bending at the hips, and exit the room.
Okay? You can feel the tension as everyone else is just staring, watching this exchange. You can see something just below the surface Octavia, but she remains calm. Do you have something to say?
No.
What can I do? I asked before, what can I do?
Help me help you. I'm interested to know what your plans are and how I can assist.
There's a lot of moving factors. First things first, we're taking out these ghoulies.
They who?
These, I don't know how to explain them. They shot at us in your territory,
Something to throw at him.
and we're gonna take them out.
The ones who put you in torpor and I brought
That's-
you back.
Yep, that's the one.
I understand.
The first time.
Their eradication would be beneficial to Holkentron, I imagine.
That's what we plan to do.
How close are you to finding these ghoulies?
Have a few leads, but nothing substantial. I'm trying to hunt them in your territory, where we saw them last.
If you need any help, please do not hesitate. In fact, I insist that should you encounter them or come up with any leads, that you let me know so I can be of service. Don't want any more young kindred getting hurt that don't need to be.
With all due respect, we kind of want to take care of this ourselves so we can pay you back.
This will be a way to pay me back, is letting me help you. So I have your word. Good. I would be devastated to know you risked your unlives without letting me know first. Keep me updated. Because I will be keeping an eye on you lot.
Sounds like a plan, Octavia. Thanks again for your help, and I'll get up and...
I'll follow him out.
Sure.
Did you leave? Are you still there?
I'm still there.
Okay.
The conversation started before I
I
left.
fucked up.
Is that what you say to me on the
Are
way?
you lingering or are you going with them?
I linger for just a second. Nothing crazy. The entire time I've been really like studying each one of them. Not making a show of hiding it or anything. Just like really,
Sizing him up.
yeah. Just trying to like see their reactions, like understand like relationships and their reactions to things if they react, because I know they're very like stoic.
The others aren't so much. You see Ari, Pleo especially, was like the whole time wide eyed.
I would have probably been watching
Yeah.
it like,
Ari seemed like ready to interject
Like-
should she need to.
I don't want to fight Ari.
The pale one was just watching with big eyes the whole time. Now those big eyes are on you. And as you're watching them, I watch you, Tethys, who I'm not sure if you've even heard speak before. He says, "You're different." Taylor says, "I noticed it as well."
Do you mean that in like the high school sense where like it's bad, or
I stopped. I listened to this.
or like is that like a weird kindred compliment?
I think you're talking about your hair.
Alright.
I would not consider it a compliment. It is an observation that you've made some interesting choices since we've last met.
Oh, the hair, yeah. You know, just trying some things out. You like it? Alright, you guys look great too. So, this was a really pleasant
All right, so
chat.
it's time for you to leave.
It was a pleasant chat. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Great seeing you guys again.
Now,
Really look forward to the next time. I'm sure it'll be fun.
Drive.
I kind of like stand up, just like pull up my jacket, stick my hands in my pockets, make eye contact with Octavia, and then walk out.
she smirks a bit and watches you walk out. Meanwhile, Herb.
Herb.
You're about to get jumped.
Herbert.
This is fun.
Inside the car, you get a call from Delilah. You answer to hear screaming, gunshots, heavy breathing. Hear Delilah's voice. Herb, the treehouse, the place by Evelyn's, some dude in the mask is killing everyone. You gotta fucking... I'm gonna try to get out of here, but it's bad. This is really bad. I love you so much. Please do it, and then it cuts off.
I'm on the way. Oh, fuck. And I kind of look out. Nobody's out yet. Yeah, I just kind of leap out of the car and just kind of run in to grab them as fast as I
Yeah,
can.
you catch them on the way down already.
What's wrong?
We gotta go. Delilah's in trouble.
Where?
It's somewhere out towards Evelyn's.
Jesus.
I know where she's at. Just come on, let's go.
All right, and with that, we will end this episode of the game.
Forever.
Forever. We have, what do we have at this point? We have tutorial videos out now that good old Mandy helped me with and did such a good job.
We're proud of her.
Tutorials. Watch those, learn some things. Learn how a master works. Watch a novice try to make a character. It's a great time for all. Otherwise, follow us on our socials. Follow us on our...
Shout out to the vampire dogs.
Shout out to Vamp Dogs.
It's Charles.
Yeah, it's fitting.
I guess we still have to do an after show where we'll reveal a huge secret.
Ooh, yeah. We're gonna reveal it?
Yeah.
All right.
Do.
Also follow us on Twitch.
Twitch.
Yeah, we need followers. Just
Yeah.
a few more. I mean, really, the more the merrier.
Yeah,
but
tell your
follow us on
mom.
Twitch.
We gotta
Tell your
We
mom.
stream live every Wednesday.
We're now
Make your
mom
mom
guys.
We stream
five.
on
Make your
Wednesdays.
mom 5
Yeah, we
Twitch
should-
accounts.
We're gonna stream on Wednesdays
Sign her
in the
out
future.
on all.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We might be changing
Well,
that.
we're, you know.
We're on the
switching
internet.
it up.
Figure it
Yeah,
out.
if you
You
want
try.
to win me
Google it.
streaming,
Joiko!
Joiko cut it.
Oh.
So go bye.